right, we will go ahead and get started. Well, hi everyone. It's so good to see all of you, some familiar faces and new faces. I am just really excited that we are kicking off our Spring 2025 Jammy Career Chats. So our topic for this month is funding your dreams. Fund your education, startup, or your next global adventure. My name is Yas Hardaway, and I'm the Executive Director of Career Services at GSEP. And our JAMI Communities of Practice programs are a partnership between GSEP Career Services and our alumni engagement team. So for those of you who are new to JAMI, you may be wondering, what is it? What is JAMI? JAMI is a Swahili term for community, and our JAMI Communities of Practice programs are designed to provide up-to-date labor market information for our education and psychology graduates, as well as connect our graduates to a larger community. In the fall, we host our JAMI career panels, which are moderated Q&A sessions. And in the spring, we host our JAMI career chats like the one today, which are more intimate breakout room conversations. So let's jump into our agenda so that you know what to expect. I'll share a little bit about our vision and learning outcomes. We'll cover a few housekeeping items, and then I'll turn it over to Dr. Renee Dorn, our Director of Alumni Engagement, to introduce our moderator and speakers. And then you'll have an opportunity to move into 2 different breakout sessions so that you can hear from a couple perspectives. So listen carefully to the speaker introductions today so that you can determine which breakout room you want to go into to learn more. And then we'll close out with some final comments and resources, and then share a little bit about what's next. So at GSEP Career Services, our vision is that every graduate would have the clarity, the confidence, and the community to be able to access, thrive in, and transform the future workplace. And our learning outcomes for our JAMI Communities of Practice sessions are really based on that vision. We hope that all of our graduates would gain clarity about the next step in their career planning, that they would gain confidence in their ability to successfully move toward their career objective. And we hope that they'll connect to a larger community of industry professionals from Pepperdine. So a couple housekeeping items. In the chat, you'll see a link to our JAMI Career Chats participant drive. And in the drive, you'll see our previous JAMI Career Chats. But you'll also find for this particular one, the speaker lineup so that you can read bios of our speakers today. And then after the session is done, you will see the recording from our main room discussion. So the breakout rooms will not be recorded, but the main room conversation is. And if you need a live transcription, we encourage you to use that option, that feature as well. Since I have all of your attention, I just wanted to make a quick shameless plug that GSEP Career Services is hiring for a graduate assistant, which we also call our career development specialists. So our career development specialists provide operational and event planning support, but they are also trained to meet one-on-one with students and alumni to help them with their self-marketing materials. We do ask for a 1-year commitment, and if you're interested in applying, you can use that QR code, or my colleague Franya will put the link in the chat. Okay, so now without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Renee Dorn, alumni from our doctoral program, and now the Director of Alumni Engagement. Dr. Dorn?
Thank you so much, Yaz, and welcome everyone to our Jammy session. So today we are so privileged to have so many wonderful speakers who are alumni and who are friends of GSEP. And so let me start out by introducing you to the person who is going to facilitate the short panel discussion before we get started with the breakout sessions. Our facilitator is Dr. Stephen Kernan. He has been held various business development, sales, and marketing positions at several organizations, including he has been president, CEO, COO of many organizations. Currently, he is the co-founder and CEO of Shawshank Therapeutics. And of Shawshank Therapeutics and Pharma Plan LLC. In addition, he, as was mentioned, is a GSEP alum and professor and program director for our Master of Arts in Social Entrepreneurship and Change program. So it is a pleasure to introduce Dr. Stephen Kernan. He will get ready to introduce to you all of the speakers for today. Just to let you know, we want you to pay attention to everything that the speakers have to say, because you have an opportunity to hear the speakers and ask questions in breakout sessions. There will be 2 breakout sessions available in which you have an opportunity to switch breakout rooms so you can get a chance to hear what different people have to say. So at this time, welcome Dr. Stephen Kernan.
Thank you, Dr. Dawn. And I am Steve Kernan. And most important thing is I am the chair of the Social Entrepreneurship and Change program. And I see there's a couple of alums that are here today. So I saw the names pop up. So thank you for joining and supporting us. And hopefully I'll be able to catch up with you sometime soon. And as Dr. Dawn said, I'm also a serial life science entrepreneur. So I love starting companies, building companies, been in large ones and small ones, and that really is my passion. However, I have the pleasure really today of being joined by 2 people. One is Erica Jeffries, and Erica is actually also an SEC alum, and also Jeff Forshey, who's also a person that's been working with the SEC Advisory Board for many, many years. So what I want to do is I'm going to start out by first asking them to introduce themselves and the topic of their breakout rooms. Now, as a point, there will be actually 3 breakout rooms. There'll be one that deals with each one of our topics, and I will cover crowdfunding for education, and you'll hear what Jeff will cover and what Eric will cover. And as mentioned by Yaz as well as Dr. Dawn, you have a chance to hear 2 of us. Unfortunately, not 3 of us, but at least 2 of us who'll be able to get a chance to have to hear a little bit of what we have to say. So on that note, I will start off and I'll say, if Erica, if you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your topic.
Absolutely. Good morning for all of you West Coasters. I am currently in Detroit, Michigan, so it is definitely afternoon for me. Just, I guess, approaching afternoon for you all at noon. But I'm excited to be here. So I was from the amazing cohort 5, as Dr. Kieran just reminded me, which is crazy to say because that was like over a decade ago. But I'm excited to be here today to talk to you a little bit about funding and going beyond the dollar is what I like to say, and thinking about creative ways to potentially get to your dreams. So yes, I can talk to you a little bit about grants. I can talk to you about scholarships, but I really, if you come to my session, I really want to drive home some important key reminders of you want to think about beyond just the physical money part of it too. So that's what I'll be talking about in my session. Hope to see you in there. But as a little bit of an intro to myself, I currently work as the Director of Impact and Engagement of a nonprofit called the Gratitude Network. And I've been in the nonprofit sector for the last 25 years or so, being a Jill of all trades. So I've done a little bit of everything. I like to say I'm probably a serial entrepreneur of nonprofits. So happy to be here.
I love that topic from Erica, that personal investment side beyond the dollar. So it's really intriguing, and I wish I could hear your session too. So I'm going to get you to do that for me after the fact. But thank you, Erica. Jeff, would like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Fouché. I run a software company that is FAID, which is short for financial aid. We focus on serving the underserved communities, DACA students, foster youth, and a lot of those areas, and showing them and guiding them on their path to free college. Most people don't know this, but close to 70% of students up and down the state of California can go to college for free. So today, some of the things I'm going to cover are about just startups in general, whether you're raising capital or you're curious about corporate structure, how equity is diluted, whether you're an LLC, C Corp, or an S Corp, how many investors you can have, those types of questions you might have, whether you're early stage, growth stage, or if you're bootstrapping the opportunity. And some of the types of equity, we could go over financing or debt equity as well. There's a lot of things people have never heard about, like if you've never heard of warrants, it's a great way to give people opportunity for equity without having to take it immediately. So those are some of the things that we'll be covering. And yeah, I'd hope to see anybody and everybody in there. Thank you.
And Jeff has been a tremendous mentor, advisor for our students over the years, and really is a great person if you want to understand how you're going to be fund these startups and different ways that you could think of funding them as well. So that's what he'll talk a lot about in his session. And as I said, what I'll talk about in my session is crowdfunding. Mine will be focused primarily towards your education. I'll touch on questions if you want to see how you would use crowdfunding for startup, but it'll be primarily touched on how you can use that to fund your education. But there will be 3 different breakout sessions here, each exciting topics. You'll have a difficult choice where you want to go to, but halfway through or so, you'll be able to switch and hear another perspective. And at the end, one you didn't get to, you can probably get our contact information and reach us separately. But on that note, I'm going to turn it back over to the team who will get us started down this path of going into our sessions. So again, thank you, Erica and Jeff, for joining us.
Great. Thank you so much to all of you. Excited to hear your sessions. Okay, so let me just share a little bit of the logistics of how we're going to move forward into the breakout rooms. So my colleague Franya will put in the chat who will be in which room. And then shortly she will open the breakout rooms and I'll explain how to choose your own breakout room. Within each breakout room, you are open to ask any of your questions. There are some sample questions here that Franya will also put in the chat, just so that you know what it is that you can ask, because sometimes we don't really know what to ask. We just want to learn more. So these questions might prompt you to think about the types of questions that you'd like to ask or what you'd like to know about. So view the speaker lineup so you can see the bios, and then you can choose your own adventure once the breakout room's open. We encourage you to keep your camera on if you can, just to allow for more of a connection. And then to, of course, share the space with others. So after you've asked your question, just invite you to share space so that others can ask their question as well too. It's probably easiest if you can use the raise your hand feature, and we'll have facilitators in each of the room to help move the conversation along. I'll signal you after about 12 minutes to let you know that in 3 minutes, you'll be signaled to switch rooms so that you can hear another perspective. And while you're welcome to stay in the same room, that will be a good time for those of you who'd like to hear from more than one speaker to hop to a different room. Okay, so the way that the breakouts will work is you can see at the bottom of your Zoom screen, you should see an icon that says breakout rooms. And you can click on that, and that will give you the options of which breakout rooms that you can join. So the crowdfunding, the grants, and more creative strategies, and then the startups. And then later when I signal you, you can select breakout rooms again at the bottom and click join to go to your next room. If at any point you are struggling or don't know what to do or don't see what you need to do, just come back to the main room, or for the first breakout, you can just stay in the main room and we'll help you get to where you'd like to go. Okay, so Franya, are we about ready? Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna pause the recording and please feel free to go into your breakout room. Just select the breakout rooms icon at the bottom. All right, everyone, welcome back. I heard some great conversations, and what a gift to have these speakers share their wisdom and their lived experiences so that we could learn from those for our own journeys. So thank you again. And Dr. Kernan, at this time, I'd like to invite you to share any final comments from yourself and also our other speakers.
Well, what I'll just share, and I'll actually give my time to Raven, because she probably would like her summary in the group was phenomenal. So Raven, if you could just wrap up what you would say about crowdfunding for education, that'd be great.
Sure. Just some key takeaways. I think when it comes to crowdfunding, really telling your story. The story is very important. Don't try to, for me, I tried to make it like bigger than what it was. And I just, I got a lot of advice to like really just be transparent, be yourself and tell your story. Be prepared to share more if people are more interested and they want to know more about what you're doing. Like Dr. Kernan said, they can be funders later down the line. So you want to keep those relationships open and really share and network and collaborate with people, and just be prepared for how they give you money. If they want to give you a paper check, if you could take that paper check. If you need to get Zelle and different things like that, please do all those things to help fund your dreams, help fund these great purposes that we're trying to do. So hopefully that's, that's what I took away from it. And like Dr. Kernan said, I was able for me to have a successful crowdfunding campaign. I was able to raise over $5,000 and give, not only pay for all my travel for almost a month, but also give back to the nonprofit that I worked for in Costa Rica. So it definitely is possible. You have to put the work in and really share your story, and just look for people to make connections with, and they'll help you out.
And thank you, Raven, and Raven's from Sweet 16 cohort, as they call themselves. So thank you. And Erica, would you like to, I'll hand it off to you.
Sure. So had a really great conversation with those who are in the room with me, but I just want to highlight and reiterate for those who were not able to come and join that funding doesn't always have to mean the physical dollar. Sometimes you really want to take a step back and think about the investment, whether that is your time and service, whether that is understanding your brand and how you can collaborate with the community in some other way. And also understanding that sometimes a partnership, even though it doesn't result in a dollar now, just like Raven said, could result in dollars later. So tell your story, be upfront, be loud about what you're passionate about and what you're trying to do, and definitely get into the spaces where people who can pour into you and you can pour into them to create this give-get situation will really help you fund your dreams. Rethink your definition of funding.
Thank you. And that's so important. I want everybody to hear that, because you really need to think broadly about what funding means beyond just a dollar. So thank you, Erica. Amazing cohort 5. Thank you. Jeff, now top that, Jeff. Put the pressure on.
Oh man, it was we had a great talk. It was it's a more boring traditional raising money and things like that. But she made I will say Erica just made a great point. It's one of the things I tried to drive home. Is I more say like where you're valued is where you really need to go and spend time in those spaces, because networking is so important, right? And go in places where you can like exchange and be able to do things for each other obviously is really good, because you become valuable to them, they become valuable to you. The best decision I ever made, I will say, as a business owner, was partnering with my partner Solomon, because he's a software developer. He owns his own software development company, which helps me tremendously. And it was the best decision I've ever made. I've brought other partners on to do the same thing, because I'm not going to do everything the best. And so I understand people are going to do it better than me. So don't be afraid to bring them on. And I also tried to nail home, and you do it as like, they have to accomplish something, right? And you do this, I'll give you that. But yeah, the whole idea behind raising money is usually pretty overwhelming to people. So just taking it step by step and reaching out to people and using that digital Rolodex you have, and trying to at least, just when you're stuck, ask questions. What do I do next? Because there's tons of people that are willing to answer. Yeah, some people might not, but most will. Dr. Kernan gave our emails in the chat for anybody who wants to email us. The both of us are the type of people that will email everybody back. So just reach out if you have specific questions, especially a couple of people in my room that wanted to talk about some longer topics. Reach out, and love to talk more about it. I had a great time today. Thank you so much for doing this.
And what Jeff is really great with all of our students and everybody he mentors and talks to is that don't get locked into there's only one way of doing it. Talk to people, and they'll help you figure out the multiple ways to see if your organization is viable, and then how do you fund that organization after that. So Jeff, thank you very much, and thank you for being a SEC Advisory Board member.
Proud.
And I am going to turn it back over to Yaz.
Great. Thank you. Let me go ahead and remove here. Oh, that's not coming up. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, thank you to our speakers again for being willing to share your time, your wisdom. Erica's birthday. Sorry, I had to call that out. We really appreciate you taking the time to share your experiences with us. And just know that these conversations make a difference in ways that we may not always know in the moment. So I know that some of you here are not GSEP students or alum, but you're thinking about it. So I would like to invite my colleague, Katrina, to share a little bit, to introduce herself and to share a little bit about how you can learn more and get in touch. So Katrina, I'll add you here.
Thank you so much. So I just dropped my contact information. My name is Katrina, and I am the admissions officer for our Social Entrepreneurship and Change program. It is the program that all of our speakers are connected to. It is the program that helps sponsor this session. And we, just like we encouraged you, we're putting ourselves out there. We're hoping to make connections, to build partnerships, and to really nurture you because our program grows when you become business owners, entrepreneurs. It strengthens you, it strengthens us, and we're just so happy to be part of all of this. So if you'd like to dig deeper, if you'd like to learn more, if you'd like to be creative, innovative, grow your business, whatever organization that you have or hope to be a part of, we're here to partner with you on this journey. So feel free to reach out to me. I would love to continue the conversation.
Great. Thank you so much, Katrina. And you can see that this is a very friendly face on the other side that would be happy to speak with you. Okay, so now in the last few minutes, we'll just wrap up and share some resources. So I'm going to invite my colleague Usman Khan to share a little bit about our commitment to promoting accessibility. And I know, Usman, you won't have time to get into the details of the resource list, but just want to make sure that students or any of our participants are aware that it's there. So Usman, feel free to take it away.
Thank you, Yas. I'm Usman Khan here from Career Services as part of our team. Our vision at Career Services at GSCP is that every graduate will have the clarity, confidence, and community to access, thrive in, and transform the future workplace. And we also want to ensure that graduates, including each of you, have access to our resources and services from an equitable lens and to foster a sense of community and belonging for each graduate while being able to honor each of your unique backgrounds and identities. And as part of our commitment to access and our vision, we're sharing a list of resources, including funding, crowdfunding opportunities, as well as opportunities for grants, as well as strategies for small businesses. And these are all shared on our shared Google Doc as part of our participant resources.
Great. Thank you, Usman. And now I'd like to turn it over to Nadine.
Yeah, so if you have any feedback for us, we're always open and we would love to hear from you. You are welcome to scan the QR code on the screen, and Franya has also included the link in the chat. Please feel free to fill out the survey about your experience today. And those who do will be entered for an opportunity drawing for an Amazon gift card. So you might get a little something back as well. And also looking forward to what's next. We will have our next Jammy session on March 26th at noon. So same time, also via Zoom. The topic is going to be about launching your own app, podcast, or online business. So that might also be a very interesting and popular one to tune into. It'll have the same format where you can go into breakout rooms to hear from speakers who have direct experience. So please join us again. You can register via Handshake with a link in the chat.
Thank you, Nadine. And Dr. Dorn, can you share a little bit about how people can stay connected?
Yes, well, hopefully you enjoyed everything that you heard today. And if you want to continue to stay close and find out more of what GCP is doing, please follow us on social media. You see Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and we also have a LinkedIn alumni group. So we would love for you to join us so you can find out more of what GCP is doing.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dorn. And Stephanie, for those that are comfortable and willing to take a quick snapshot at the end. Stephanie?
Yes, so if everyone that can and is able to turn on your camera, we're gonna do a Zoom group photo. So I will count to the number 3, and on 3, I will take a quick digital picture, print screen, and we will be free to go on with the rest of our day. So If you want to share your favorite emoji or reaction, you can also do that as well. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here and taking the time to invest in your own journey. We hope to see you next month. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.